It's live.
Live and in person.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna move it to the bed.
Podcast spoils in its acquisition.
Yes, and I know what that means. That means make your X-Wing. Turn your X-Wing
Turn
from
your
a
X-Wing.
line into an X. Right? That's a great segue you got right there.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're gonna talk about Star Wars, right?
Star Rogue One.
Rogue One
story.
Rogue One, a Star Wars. No. So yeah.
Star Wars spinoff.
Yeah, Star Wars spinoff because it didn't start at the beginning where it doesn't have the Star Wars scroll credits.
Nope.
Because it's not really
an episode.
and you don't need any of the backstory to it because let's face it,
They expect you to know it.
Yeah, there are 3 movies, explaining how the Empire came to be. And there's 3 movies that have the Empire and kind of explain. Like you just know they're bad.
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
They're the bad guys.
They're in charge of the government.
Yeah, and they look bad. So
they're bad.
It's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, but you definitely need to have seen episode 4.
For
this movie.
Yeah, for any enjoyment.
Because it's such a prequel.
Yeah.
But in all the best ways.
It did make me go like, because it's just, so Charles, that's how he got his back broken.
Yeah.
It was because of the bullet. That's dumb. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah, they didn't, explain anything that didn't need to be explained. They explain a couple things that add to the story, and it's just like, these are the events leading up straight up to the start of episode 4. Which
yes,
is really
literally. Cool. Like, it starts about, I don't know.
Yeah, episode 4 starts about 5 seconds.
5 seconds. I'd say 30 seconds. I would say 30 seconds because Leia has to travel from that room to the one room where she's putting in R2-D2 or whatever.
Well, then we know they're out of hyperspace by the time because at the end she jumps in hyperspace.
And that Star Destroyer that they're in, is that the one that is chasing after them?
Well, it must be, right?
Yeah,
Vader was in
Vader's the one who let the plans get loose. So, that's gonna be really cool to marathon these movies back to back. So,
it'll also be weird because this one's HD, and then you switch to
not HD
VHS.
VHS. All right, we just watched Rogue One on Blu-ray. Let's watch our VHS tape of Star Wars. Yeah. Yo, I saw the original trilogy on VHS at Value Village.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the original version?
No, it was the Star Wars on video for the last time ever. And
Isn't
then
that the ones we already had?
Yeah, it is. So I didn't get it. We already have it, but with the best of the sound quality. Cue really grainy sound quality. The best in video, and it's it's a VHS tape.
Their technology will never be improved past this point. Star Wars will never be altered.
Yeah. No, I think the movie. I feel like the movie looked really good. There's a lot of really pretty shots.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's some parts where it looks kind of muddy, but then I'm like, oh look, there's grass. That's color.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards is the director, and he did the Godzilla, the recent Godzilla.
Oh yeah, okay.
And the best part about that movie is the cinematography.
Yes.
So the cinematography in this is pretty great. There's a lot of depth shots where
there's foreground, background, middle ground.
Yeah, there's 6 layers of things going on, but you can still focus on what's the important point. Happening.
Yeah, and that was always really cool. And there's something on the horizon. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
When the whole thing was blowing up.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool looking. That was pretty awesome.
But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, really good. And I just want to talk about the thing that, because it was okay, because you're watching the movie, you're like, okay, this is good. I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
And I was just holy fucking shit! It was just I was almost crying because of how good it was.
Right.
When he's when Casino Royale villain is all
yeah.
When he's all he's yo, you know that thing that everyone's been making fun of for years? I did it on purpose so that the rebels could win. And I'm just
It's so good.
That is amazing.
I kind of
it makes so much sense though.
Yeah, and it's so perfect. Yeah, it's such a brilliant move to just explain why the Death Star has the one flaw.
The one flaw. Why does it have that? Because the one guy. Because he put it there.
He did it on purpose.
Because he did it on purpose.
So
people whoever made that must have been an idiot.
Some idiot.
Some idiot, right? No, he was a rebel.
He was a rebel the whole time.
Let's think about that. Like
it's so great.
that's been made fun of for so long, and
It's
I'm
kind of
so,
like
yeah.
Did you read the Shepherd's Tale, the Firefly graphic novel that explains the Shepherd's backstory?
I think I did. Yeah, I read
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
Well, spoilers, spoilers
For Shepherd's Tale.
spoilers for Shepherd's
Have your
Tale.
spoilers for Rogue One, by the way. You could just put
Oh
that
yeah.
put that in the thing. Rogue One, a spoiler story.
Well, it's not gonna matter.
This is a spoiler cast. Like it's always been a spoiler.
It's always been a
cast.
spoiler cast, and also we do it months after the movies come out. So you
When we do it right, we
record it right after, but it's
yeah.
released much later.
Kind of like when your movie takes place between 2005 and 1977.
Yeah, spoilers for Rogue One. The rebels get the plans.
They get the plans. Yeah. But that beach stuff was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Like that was.
I think this movie had this one or episode 3 had the most planets. Like they just cut like between like 12 different it felt like
it never felt overwhelming.
No, it was
done
good.
well enough that
it was
they
just
were all
the story.
important to the story.
You know, one thing at the beginning of the movie that really confused me.
Yeah.
Okay.
They introduced like 3 planets in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and they cut between them pretty quick. And the main thing that I was just like, wait, what?
It could have been edited like a little bit better.
Yeah. The main male rebel guy, who like finds Jin or so.
He's kind of like a scumbag basically.
But
he just kills the one guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, I think
but that was an interesting. I like what they did.
That was just his character arc.
Yeah, that was his character.
He's a dick, and then he's like, "Yo,
he's done.
We're all dicks. We've all done things.
It's showing
we want to be not dicks.
It's showing a different side to the rebels because normally it's like they're the good guys. It's like no, they're at war, so they're doing like fucked up shit too.
Yeah. And that's really cool because the rebels always because Star Wars always painted a really clear picture. These are the good guys. These are the bad guys. You clearly know who you're rooting for. Like, It's never been like the original trilogy of Star Wars never tackles any gray areas, and that's the whole idea. Is that it's good and evil and stuff. I really liked the part where I thought this was funny, and I wanted to tell you this when we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you know the one part where they're like, it's like, oh, we got hope, we can steal the plans, and they're just like, no, and so get this. So not only are they on the Rebel Alliance, but now they're rebelling against the rebels.
Yeah,
so they're double rebels.
They're double rebels.
They're rogue, like
we're going rogue,
like
they're already rogue.
That's how rebelly they are. Like they're so rebelling. Like
they're so rebellion. They don't even.
They're rebelling against the rebellion to rebel against the freaking empire. Like, I think that's pretty cool because like some of the coolest things happen because of snap judgments like that, where it's like I know this. I don't care that we don't have definite proof. Well, I know this.
Well, yeah, we're gonna
take a ragtag team of rinky-dink rebels. Yeah, and they were all
misfits
and losers
and losers.
And we're gonna. I think the last act of this movie was better than Suicide Squad.
The last act. Well,
it was.
This whole movie was better than
Suicide Squad. I know, but like
Squad.
the initial, it has a similar concept.
I guess so, in a way. But Suicide Squad makes way less sense.
Yeah. Well, this was definitely way more coherent.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say earlier is okay. So they introduced the main rebel guy, and he's like trying to find Jyn Erso or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the pilot who did work for the Empire.
Yeah.
But he's betraying them and giving them the information.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the same guy.
Yeah.
Just because they look really similar.
Yeah.
And they like just kind of like, oh, we're on this planet now. I'm like, okay, so he's meeting up with these people, and they put a bag on his head, and then like cuts back, and there's this other guy the other guy's doing his other thing with like Jyn Erso, and then like eventually they're in the same room together, and I was like, oh, they're two different people.
No, I know they're two different people. I totally.
It took me a while.
I had trouble following what that guy, like the pilot guy's importance was. Though.
Yeah. So what it was is Mads Mikkelsen, the Casino Royale guy, the guy who built the Death Star,
Mr. Doctor,
he gave the pilot guy with the goggles, the message, to give to Forrest Whitaker that said, "Hey, I actually put blowy uppy thing in the Death Star.
I put a
destruct button on it.
You just push it.
The
whole thing explodes.
The whole thing explodes.
We need to get that information to the rebels. It's in the schematic. You just need to look at the schematic.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, which was cool. So yeah, and I think it all works still because like because in the original trilogy they're like, oh, like in the original it's like, oh, these plans maybe they can find a weakness for these plans and stuff like that, right? But like and it still works because the Empire,
because all the rebels
most of the
that would have
Empire,
known that it had a weakness died.
Yeah, all them died, and the only one guy from the Empire, and the only like couple people from the Empire that knew about that as well also died.
Yeah, because Darth Vader's like, oh, see if that guy ruined the plans at all, and he died before he could report back to him.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, Darth Vader was just trying to get the plans.
So
back.
he's just trying.
So he completely forgets that in his head, and it's just like, okay,
they're just
I have to do a New Hope.
They have
now.
the plans, so
like, they just have to do
maybe
the plot
there's
of New Hope
maybe
now,
there's
so.
a possibility.
And then let's think about what's on Darth Vader's plate right now. So the plans get taken, and then what's this? The princess also gets taken from him. What? He's got a lot. He's dealing with a lot right now because he kidnaps the princess, right? And then she gets broken out, right? And then he's fighting his old master, and Darth Vader in the New Hope.
Oh, he's
got enough. He's got so much on his plate. He's not going to be thinking.
What about that one guy?
What about that one guy? Did he put a weakness in the plans?
Yeah,
that's not going to be his first thought.
They're not worried about that.
Because that kind of bothered me a little bit when I was thinking no, you wrecked the. No, they didn't wreck the thing. It actually works.
Yeah.
If you think about it logically and you use your brain, it still works. And I just want to say, Darth Vader was a fucking badass in this movie.
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
Like the scene,
the one
scene with Darth Vader at the end. So
was so good.
It was so good.
It was what you wanted.
It was what I wanted to see. I just wanted to see him just tear some people apart, and he freaking did it.
Yeah,
he's just
it's beautiful.
He's just killing people with a light. First he's just blocking laser blasts like a badass, and then he cuts up some guys. He punches a guy into the ceiling with the force. He then cuts some other guy in the face, and then he stabs the guy through a door, which is because we were talking because I saw it with a bunch of my friends, and you said you saw we saw.
I joined you.
Yeah, he joined me
because I have no friends.
Yeah, but it's okay. But anyways, are you friends with Jacob?
Yeah, I guess so. I've known him for a while.
Yeah. A while, Danny? You've probably known him longer than me, let's be real.
I've known him your whole life.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, that makes sense. So, no, but I don't know, what was I talking about? I had a point there. It was
Vader was cool.
Yeah, it was just cool to see, because we don't see that.
It's true.
In A New Hope, some stormtroopers go shoot the rebels, and then Darth Vader just kind of walks in and just observes the mess.
The only thing he really does in that one is he fights Obi-Wan.
He tells Grand Moff Tarkin not let the power of the Death Star go to his head.
Yeah,
and
then at the end he flies in the ship. And
I thought he was gonna fly in his TIE
fighter. Yeah, I thought they were for sure they were gonna do that.
No, but I was way happier with what they did though.
No, what they did was perfect.
Yeah. And that was amazing.
That was just what I was expecting.
Because they can't get the door open and it's dark, and then the lightsaber goes. I'm like, you're all.
I was like,
you're all fucked. You're all so fucked.
Because they're like, oh, get the door open. I'm like, just pass them the plans.
I thought
that's the only way you can do it.
I thought you could just do that, right? But you have to wait for someone to be on the other side of the door, right? You can't just throw the plans on the ground, and you gotta let them know what it is. Also, it's like hey, take this floppy drive. It's like, what the fuck is this? I don't care about this. Why do you want me to save a floppy drive? Boom. Episode 4 never happened. You gotta be careful.
I guess so.
When you're passing plans through a door.
What do you think about Tarkin?
Tarkin. I thought he was he would have been there. So
it makes perfect sense for him to be there.
Yeah.
But at first when they first show him you see him from behind. Yeah. And I was like, oh, are we not going to see his face? Yeah. And then they show it, and it's I'm pretty sure it's a
CG
it's a CG
the
thing.
Top Moff Tarkin from Episode 3.
Yeah, no, yeah, it might be. I don't know who was playing him, but
because in Episode 3 he was kind of young, he was kind of younger.
Yeah, and he's only in the one shot.
Yeah,
right?
but Episode 3 came out 11 years ago.
Yeah. So
let's be real.
It would kind of work.
We can be real for a second.
No, but they definitely CGI'd him to look like
that one actor.
What's his name? Peter Cushing, because he looks just like him.
Yeah.
And at first when I first showed it, I was like, oh, okay, they're doing a CGI thing. That's fine, I guess. Yeah. It looks pretty good. Yeah. And then later in the movie, I didn't even notice it. I'm like, that's just Tarkin.
That was really cool.
I guess maybe it's just once you get used to it, it just looks. And it's just oh, it's fucking.
what's
Peter
great is
Cushing,
that
he's
they
back.
got Mon Mothma for episode 3, which looks
cool.
really good, and Bail
Organa was in it too.
Was in it too, and because we've only ever had one actor for Bail Organa.
Yeah, it's fine that
it makes sense. And when he showed up, I'm just like, oh,
it's great.
That's cool.
It's funny because at first they're talking to Jay and they're like, oh, we need you to talk to Forrest Whitaker because he might know something about the Death Star. And then Bail Organa steps in and then you're supposed to be like, oh, it's him. But then the scene ends and he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if that's his only scene.
Yeah.
What if that's his only scene?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
But no, he has a scene later.
No, what I thought was kind of interesting, Forrest Whitaker, he had it was almost like it's like what. It was just like a bootleg version of a Darth Vader
yeah,
suit,
that's what I was thinking.
which is kind of interesting. So
he had a robot leg, but then he also needed a cane.
He had 2 robot legs. He had a cane and he had a robot arm.
Yeah, and then he just had
a breathy thing on his chest.
A breathy thing
that he needed oxygen.
Duct tape on.
Yeah, pretty much.
His chest.
And he needed oxygen for some reason, but because he's just I don't know, he's just old and messed up.
Yeah, whatever.
Machine. I guess that's what happens when you're half machine, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. It tends to be a theme in Star Wars. Oh, I'm a machine. I mean,
it's more machine than that.
Now I have asthmatic problems.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just got sick or something. Or I guess he was a rebel, right? So he probably
must
have been injured and stuff. So
I
really liked that scene in the one town where they fight.
Yeah.
Where his group of rebels fight off the tank and stuff. It was just guerrilla warfare.
That was fantastic. I'm like, we have not seen a scene like this in a Star Wars movie.
Just so real.
Yeah.
There's just a kid crying in the middle of the city. They're just in the middle of a regular city. They're just trying to live their lives. And, they're waging war.
Yeah. Against I think that was kind of cool to see people who weren't exactly tied to the rebellion.
No, they weren't.
But they were just people fighting back
because they're fuck you, government.
You don't take my streets. I thought there's a couple of really cool exchanges in this movie between characters. There's one part where it's you don't care that Imperial flags fly or whatever.
Right,
just don't look up.
Yeah, just don't look up.
It's that's some deep shit.
There's
some, and there was one exchange at the beginning between the general guy, the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
General bad guy.
And
Casino Royale. That's I'm not even gonna. Once I see the movie enough times, I'm gonna be able to call these characters.
Yeah, by their actual names.
So between Casino Royale and General Bad Guy, and I forget what it was, but it was cool, and it was just something about this isn't. He's like, oh, it's like we brought peace and stuff to the galaxy. He's like, this isn't peace, this is terror. It's like, well, you gotta start somewhere.
It's
that's
true.
It's
he's like,
I never thought about that.
I brought peace, justice, freedom, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire. She had a British accent and everything.
Yeah,
she's a pretty good heroine.
You got a
Star Wars heroine. I'm really glad she wasn't Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
I got a lot of Jennifer Lawrence vibes from her. And I'm so glad that she actually wasn't Jennifer Lawrence.
Dude, would you say, I've only seen the one trailer, but would you say the trailers for this movie lied?
No.
But at the end of the first trailer, Forrest Whitaker goes, "What will you become?" And then she's in the Imperial outfit, and firstly, that line's not even in the movie, and then secondly, she's just in the Imperial outfit to pull an episode 4 where they just dress up so that they don't get caught while they're sneaking around.
Yeah. Would
you call that lying, or would you just call that trailer bullshit? Typical trailer bullshit.
It's just trailer whatever.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's the thing is trailers don't matter at all.
Probably because that line was in the front of the movie.
Yeah.
You might have just been like, yo, I'm a rebel. Look at all my robot limbs. What will you become?
Maybe that was
about it that way.
Yeah. It's it's hard to tell and this movie apparently had reshoots too, so it's hard to tell what parts from the trailer they cut out and for what reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'd say it was pretty solidly.
But I mean, it flowed really well. I thought for the most part.
I think the beginning.
There's a couple parts of the beginning.
It was a little choppy.
I think it was a little choppy at the end too because they cut really quickly between the 3 different levels of what was happening.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they would just show one
had,
part
like,
for like 2 seconds and then go back to the other stuff.
Because the 3 levels they had the spaceships in space.
Yeah.
They had
the ground fighters.
The ground fighters on the ground, and then the infiltrators infiltrating.
Yeah.
We had wait, what was it? Oh yeah, I thought I whispered this to you. The password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because they had the same plot device from Spaceballs where there's a door.
Oh yeah, it was the same one.
Where there's a door force field. There's a force field on a planet with a door, and they go in.
I didn't even know that's what you meant.
That's what I meant by that.
I didn't even think of that.
That's the only thing I can think of.
They literally have the planet from Spaceballs.
They have the planet from Spaceballs. They have planet
where there's a door for the air.
Yeah, there's a door for the air. They have Druidia's airlock door.
That's funny. Yeah. I liked all the different planets in this one.
Yeah.
You got some nice new ones.
Yeah, some nice new Star Wars planets.
Better than Force Awakens. Force Awakens was like, another desert planet. Another planet with trees. Another planet with snow. It was like, this one was like, oh, tropical planet. Rainy, rocky planet. Like,
shit desert.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of desert. It definitely didn't have any, like,
there was
just
like more
it was
variety.
like a darker desert. Like, it wasn't,
yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you know what? Jakku didn't have to be a desert.
No.
That didn't. That does not anything to the plot.
The only thing it does is
it makes fans
go. This is the only thing it does.
Yeah.
When people go, oh, it's just A New Hope, and it's like, no, this one took place on Jakku instead of Tatooine.
Yeah,
that's the only thing it does differently.
Yeah.
They might as well have just called it Tatooine and just been like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, no, but it makes Finn all sweaty and have to take off his stormtrooper gear.
So?
And they don't know he's a stormtrooper. See, if it was just
Tatooine,
if it wasn't,
it would have been the same.
No. But if it wasn't Tatooine, let's say it's a different planet. Let's say Jakku.
Okay,
let's be real for a second. So let's say Jakku isn't a desert. Let's say Jakku is just like, I don't know, like a rock.
It's like a mountain rocky range or something.
Rocky range or something.
Sure.
Right? Would Finn have to take off his stormtrooper costume if it was a mountain rocky range?
No, but he should.
Yeah, he'd be smart enough to.
Because he's not working with the Empire anymore. Or
the First Order.
And he's trying to find the rebels, right?
Yeah.
At that point. He's trying to find BB-8 at least. So yeah. How did Poe get out of that ship?
Oh, I'll tell you how.
Okay.
So Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets cast as Poe Dameron, right?
Yeah.
And he's reading the script and stuff. So he goes to J.J. Abrams and he says, "Look, the past few movies I've been in, I played a character that gets killed off like in the first act, and that just sucks, right? And I don't really like this, right?
Right.
Do you think there's a way you can keep my character?" And J.J. Abrams says, "You know what? I really like you. I like the way you're playing this character. I'll see what I can do." And then he just writes it. That's how he survived. But if you think about it, Finn woke up from an ejector seat miles from the TIE fighters.
I guess.
And Poe takes off his jacket before he...
Yeah, I know he takes off the jacket
while he's in the thing. So he just got ejected in a different direction. And
I guess so, because he
just says that he woke up. He's like, there was no crash. No crash
ship
type.
Or anything.
Yeah.
So I guess he just woke up later.
Yeah, he just woke up a little later.
And Finn did a bad job of looking for him.
Yeah.
He just gave up. I guess he found the jacket and gave up.
Yeah.
He probably forgot they took it off.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I do really love that moment when they're flying the ship together, and then it's just like did we just become best friends?
Yeah. It's like, what? Yeah, that was pretty great. Yeah.
There is some great moments in that, but I almost feel like this one's better. Rogue One is better. I'm not sure yet.
I have to watch The Force Awakens again because I feel like the last time I saw The Force Awakens, as good as it is,
mm-hmm.
I couldn't help but see a lot of it as like an overacted
mess. Really, that's that bad?
Well, no, but there's some things where it didn't click with me the way it did the first 3 times I watched
it. and that's the thing is. It's tough, right?
Yeah,
because you gotta make a movie that's not just good.
Yeah,
it gets that gets better the more you watch it.
The only movie that's ever done that is Fight Club. I would say
Fight Club. I say Star Wars
gets better the more you watch it.
I think it's one of those.
Okay. And like Die Hard,
Terminator
2.
Yeah, like there's like
Yeah.
those like classics that like stick with you, and
Yeah.
like Star Wars.
We picked like all action movies.
So well, that's what I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're really good, and they
Yeah.
have strong characters, and like that's one of the things that makes them work. And like, it's tough. It's really tough for Force Awakens because it's not just a movie on its own. You can't just watch that on its own. It's part one of 3. And
yeah, there's still lots of questions to be answered.
Yeah, and
that's remember our last one we were ranting about Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck?
And Rogue One feels great as like a
Rogue One is
thing.
fine on its own because we know what happens next.
This is the question I asked myself when I saw episode 7, and I'm gonna ask it again to you and myself, which is, was this movie like actually good as its own thing, or did I just like it because it's a Star Wars?
Because it's a Star Wars movie.
Am I just giving it more credit because it's a Star Wars movie?
And it gives you that feeling of Star Wars.
Yeah, I would say it actually is good. Like as a movie, if this was a movie that wasn't a Star Wars movie, I'd be like, you know what, that was good. I probably wouldn't have watched it because it wasn't a Star Wars movie, but like I'd be like, you know what, that was pretty good, right? But like, I don't know. It's hard to compare it because it is a Star Wars movie, though. You can't say.
Yeah, you can't just watch.
You can't just say. What if it wasn't a Star Wars movie? Because that means suddenly.
Well, then it wouldn't exist.
It wouldn't exist. One, it doesn't exist.
It wouldn't have any.
2, you don't have Darth Vader or anything cool because it's not like that's the hard thing is that you can't. You gotta be able to look at the movie, not through your Star Wars beer goggles.
Yeah.
But
but
it's impossible not to because it's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's so tough.
So,
but like
you have to judge it like a movie though, and like I can judge Return of the Jedi like a movie, and like I can look at the first 3 and say the first 2 are fantastic as films, and the third one, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie, but it's not as good as the first.
It's not as good as the first 2, right? Like,
but
it's not. I wouldn't say it's as impactful as the first 2.
No, but there's parts of that one that are like the strongest parts in the trilogy. They're like strong, like
some of the strongest parts
in the trilogy. Yeah, like
everything with the Emperor and
the Emperor and Vader,
where they're just talking in a room.
Yeah,
that's all great stuff.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
probably one of the best lightsaber fights in
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I would say.
Movie.
Yeah. I think we got one of the best lightsaber fights in this movie. Yes.
Yeah, one guy with a lightsaber versus a bunch of nobodies. They all get killed.
Yeah.
For sure. I liked the Admiral Akbar guy who wasn't Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of he's like, all right, everyone, I'm Admiral, not Akbar.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna go do this and stuff. It was I don't know.
You know, I'm not.
It was just like. It's just like, remember Admiral Akbar? Well, this isn't him.
Yeah, okay, so something I kind of noticed.
He doesn't make it.
Because this is something that I'm going to call this for the Rogue One Honest trailer, and that comes out in 6 months. So they're going to do something to make fun of this, which is that the main character in Rogue One, she does a lot of like climbing and things and parkour.
Does she do a lot of climbing?
So
she does at least one climbing
scene. She climbs a ladder.
I thought she just got captured a lot. That's what I remember.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she gets.
Like twice,
it starts off. She's already captured.
She gets captured again.
Then the rebels capture her. Then the other rebels capture her. Then the Empire captures her at least twice, 2 other times. like
they don't. The Empire never captures her.
No, but like the droid was like, "Oh yes, these 2 are my prisoners," and like
yeah.
Like
they're going to. Look, where I am taking them to prison.
Those prisoners, where are you taking them? Right, I'm going to imprison them.
In prison. It feels like a very Rick and Morty writing there. But that was fantastic. He was the best.
The robot was the best. What was his name?
Queso.
Queso?
It was like KS20 something like K.
Oh. I knew it was K something.
You know,
K9.
K something or other.
Yeah, K something. He was great. And it was Alan Tudyk, so I was expecting him to be great.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
He was great. And he was great. So
he wasn't. What was great is that I'm really glad they didn't do C-3PO again.
No, he's his
like
his own
BB-8
thing.
was kind of like R2-D2.
BB-8 was like cuter R2.
He was just cuter R2. Would you just say that he was saltier C-3PO?
No, he was like his own thing.
Yeah, he was his own thing.
He was like a sassy motherfucker.
Yeah, he was a total sav. Like,
yeah.
Everything he said was pretty like. I'm trying to think of a good example of something he said where he's just like, I'm like, wow, you're an absolute sap. Oh, no, like the part where it's like, what are the odds? It's like, you want to know the odds of us not getting through this? It's like, they're high. They are very high.
I liked when
yeah.
when she was like, yeah, so they're probably gonna either try to reprogram you or shoot at you, and he's like, what you care about me? And then she's like, no, I'm just worried that they might miss and hit me, and then he's like, that wouldn't be too bad.
I don't. He's like, I don't see a problem with that, or something
like that. Like, what a bastard.
Yeah, but he was really likable though. Yeah, pretty great reprogramming.
He was Arnold. He was a reprogrammed Terminator.
He was a reprogrammed Terminator. Yeah, that's why he was so likable.
That's why
he should have had the thumbs up when he died.
Why?
I don't know.
That wouldn't have worked in that
No, he had a pretty good last stand thing where he was just like shooting all kinds of.
And that was like the only one that I was really sad.
Yeah, I was really sad when he died.
I was actually
like, we were all just like, no.
The rest I was just kind of like, by the time we got to them, I'm like, I kind of like knew it was
you
happen.
knew they all
but like
die.
that one I still hoped
and
he would
they handled all the deaths really well.
Yeah, they were all they were all good. Like
they all,
that one was just the best,
they all like
sure.
all felt accomplished by the end.
Yeah.
They're all like, I did the thing that made this thing happen, that made it so that I could
maybe
get the star.
The only one that was kind of inconsequential was the pilot guy. Because, like, he had already done his thing, and then a grenade shows up, he's just like, oh. And then, and then he blows up.
Alright, I plugged this extension
I plugged the thing into the thing. I mean, that was my one job. So I guess I just sit here waiting to be killed.
That was pretty cool when the blind guy walked through a bunch of blaster fire.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
He's pretty cool.
I really like that character.
I really liked him because he was clearly religious.
Yeah.
And they made like the Force like it's a religious thing, and so some people just think he's crazy, and then some people.
Well, he's kind of like a monk,
But then obviously
he's like no, he's like the pick me. So for Avatar: The Last Airbender. So you know how like the entire Air Nation dies, but there's still people who like study the people and stuff. He's like that, where he's just like really he just knows like everything about the Jedi, and he likes all their
he's clearly studied the Force and stuff like that.
And he you could theorize that he is a Force user. Like he
but I don't think he is.
He uses the Force to see.
Maybe.
Maybe he just trusts. Maybe he just trusts in it, and then he can just be a badass.
Right, because there is no luck or whatever. Right, so.
I thought that was pretty cool. He was just like breaking their armor with a fucking stick. Like
it was sick.
The first one, when I saw that in the trailer, I'm like, that looks pretty impractical. Like it looks cool, but you can't really get a lot of velocity.
Is that really effective?
Yeah.
But like, turns out it is because it's just a block, and he's got the other guy with him
who shoots stuff.
Who shoots stuff if he's about to get killed.
Yeah. That was a really good gun. I wish.
Which was, and I like it's his whole like backpack, like his whole the whole thing. He's like wearing the gun essentially.
Yeah, and he went through like a good like character arc.
Yeah, kind of. Where he's like,
he's like the Force is so cool, and then he's like, you're dumb, and then and then he like does the thing. He's like, oh, Force
is a real thing.
The Force is real.
It's true.
I believe in the Force. Yeah. Yes, the original trilogy. It all happened.
It all happened. Not how Lucas says, but it all happened.
I like how the first line of The Force Awakens is, "This will begin to make things right."
Yeah, that's true, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I want to say this is better.
You want to say this is better?
Awakens.
I
have to watch this one and Force Awakens again.
See them back to back. We'll wait and see. I think.
Yeah, it's just like all the like little like hints at the original trilogy and in The Force Awakens. I feel like they did them all better in this one.
Yeah.
Because like. In The Force Awakens, they go on the Falcon and they do the thing from the first movie.
He pulls out the training.
He pulls out the training droid. He plays the chess game.
And the one guy gets revenge on the
other guy. Gets revenge on the other guy
for being killed in episode
4. Like there's all those like things that don't matter and don't need to be in there.
Yeah.
But wherein in this one, like all the characters you expect to show up and make a cameo. But like it's just like very subtle and very like okay, I understand why that's there, and like it's nice. It's like R2 and C-3PO have like a 5-second cameo, and it's just like oh great, I like those guys.
Yeah, they would have been there.
Yeah, it's like oh yeah, of course they're there.
Yeah, it wasn't too in your face either.
Like, there's nothing in your face. There's nothing.
There was nothing like the Justice League email attachment where it's like, look,
it's like, oh,
Flash.
Here's all the movies we're gonna have lined up and in the order that the movies come out.
Yeah, it's like, look, it's the Flash. Look at Cyborg. Look at Aquaman.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no,
it's none of that shit.
Yeah.
they're not really subtle because like Leia is like, oh, here, Princess Leia, and then you see Leia and she goes, oh, this what, and then the guy's like, what is this? And then she goes, it's a hope.
Yeah.
New hope.
She's like, no, but that was the
that's
thing.
That's not what she says. But
no,
like,
but I didn't even make that connection because they had talked about hope so much earlier.
Right, it's been a theme.
It's been a theme, right? It was hope and just
like.
like.
But I mean, like.
That was the main character's. That was the main character's thing. Is that she's like, okay, the Empire took over.
Has no,
whatever. I don't care.
Who cares? I'll just live my life.
I'll just live my life, right?
It's so Firefly.
Yeah.
This movie's so like
it's very Firefly.
It's very Firefly, but that's one of the things that's kind of great about it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like Firefly.
Even Alan Tudyk was there.
Alan Tudyk was in it, and he flied a ship.
Yeah, and he got killed.
And he died.
Yeah,
and it was the saddest.
The saddest part. Yeah.
Oh man,
we could convince someone that this is basically just Firefly.
It's basically Firefly, but Firefly is basically Star Wars, but more Western.
Yeah,
It's a Western Star Wars.
Space Western.
Or Space Western.
Space Cowboy.
So I mean, like everything is everything. Like everything is everything. There's only one true story, and blah blah blah. Like
that true story is done the best in a movie called Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. So
I love that in what is it, in Castle? Nathan Fillion dresses up as Malcolm Reynolds. He's like, look, I'm a space cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like
it's like not so subtle references if you watch Firefly.
Like there's a part when he puts on blue gloves and then he puts like two fingers up on both his hands because it's the 2x2 hands of blue.
And those are like people from the Capitol.
What's
the Capitol. What are they fucking called? The Alliance.
The Alliance.
The Alliance
is the bad guys in that one.
Yeah.
Where in Star Wars, the Rebel Alliance is the good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like, they even did like in Rogue One, they even did what was it? Those two guys who end up at the cantina.
Yeah, they just bump into them.
They just bump into them, and it's like,
hey, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay. I will.
I was expecting him to go, I have the death sentence on 12 systems. We're wanted men.
My friend doesn't like you.
My friend doesn't like you. I don't like you either. But like, no, they just like bump into them and then they're gone in like 2 seconds. And I guess they leave that city right away and go to Tatooine because it blows up
right after.
like 5 seconds.
So they could have been
5 minutes later.
Let's say they were just on their way to their ship.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because it was like wasn't it like a trading outpost or something, or like a whatever. They mentioned it was like a temple or something, didn't they? They said it had some connection to the Jedi.
Yeah, it was like where all the kyber crystal was.
Right, it was something.
Yeah, I think it was the first time they mentioned, like, they probably have like books and stuff about this.
Oh yeah, there's tons of shit.
It's the first time they're like, yo, the Death Star is powered by lightsaber.
Yeah,
like,
which is kind of cool.
And that makes sense.
And what was great is Jin had the crystal necklace, and I was like, oh, like, and then when the guy said, oh, kyber crystals, that's what powers lightsabers, I'm like, oh, she's gonna put that on a lightsaber at the end and fight Darth Vader, and they fucking didn't even do that.
Yeah.
And it was great. I was like, oh, that's, like, once I realized where they were going, I'm happy that they didn't do that.
It was just kind of like
it's almost like a, just kidding. Like
yeah, but it's also, well, no, the whole idea was just like, oh, remember your family.
Yeah, it's more, like, it still has the significance of, oh, it's your family, but, like, it ended up being not important at all. And you think, like, normally that's the thing that's, like, ends up being important.
Yeah, I thought
it just wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it might be like a crystal on, like, one of the lightsabers in the original trilogy. Like, what if, like, Luke finds that crystal necklace?
Oh, okay, yeah, Luke. Yeah. Then it flashes forward and, like, Luke. That's the end credit scene is Luke finds it.
We didn't stay for the end credits, did we?
No. So, yeah, let us...
No, but she blew up with it, though.
Let us know in the comments if there's an end credit scene. I don't know how they would do one, because they killed off all the main characters.
Yeah.
And then it leads right into episode 4.
Yeah.
Unless the end credit scene is episode 4, but it's 1,000 times faster.
Episode 4, but every time they say the Force, it's replaced with the B movie trailer. But every time they say B in the B movie trailer, it's replaced with We Are Number 1. Every time they say 1 in We Are Number 1, it's replaced with The Force Awakens. Yeah.
But
that could be a thing.
Where do you think Darth Vader was when we first saw him? I don't know. I think he was like 100 years old. 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 100 years
He says, Mordor. He said he was Mordor.
I thought it might
looks
have been Mustafar because it was like
Mustafar.
volcanic and
They
stuff.
didn't, but they didn't give that planet a subtitle.
No, which is another new
A
thing for
strange-
this movie.
Strange editing choice.
Is
They did the Guardians of the
subtitles.
Galaxy thing.
That's true. That's true. It was a Guardians of the Galaxy thing. But like, it's fine because it's a spin-off, so it doesn't have to follow the
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to
exact
follow
rules.
the exact
You don't have to
right?
wipe every time there's a scene change.
Yeah.
And also, this movie started like 10 years, like 15 years or something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
The first scene is Jin as a kid, and then the title, and then she's an adult, and then that's for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But like, no other Star Wars movie has like a flashback scene in it.
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean, like,
true.
you can do that in this one because it's
except for
it's
the
not
Force
a main-
Awakens.
Oh yeah, but isn't it part of the
Part of the trippy journey.
the dream? So like, they work it into a way where it's still the story is still happening chronologically.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Because she's still like an adult watching it, right?
Yeah.
Watching it happen as an adult.
Yeah, it's like she's seeing what we're seeing or whatever. It's like that. So it still fits.
What if Luke's the
eight.
new trilogy? Yeah.
Then they're out of ideas.
Yeah.
Because that's such a boring idea.
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, what if Luke was bad? Like, okay,
Do it right though.
he turned good. He
What
was
if
clearly
what
good.
if Dominic
and
Toretto is bad?
Well, yeah, but obviously this is the 8th movie. Obviously they're out of ideas. Oh god,
It looks so
It's the
good
8th Star
though.
Wars.
That's
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite trailer.
and like that's a series that obviously doesn't take itself seriously
I know.
in any
Yeah.
regard.
Oh yeah.
So
That's what made it.
that's what made them good.
That's what makes them good in quotations, and what makes that trailer make me want to watch it.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this is so dumb.
I want to watch. I want to see this.
Yeah, when it's like you're gonna have to work together with someone you don't
You two are working together. I'm like, all right, yes. Like I was
And
like,
it's,
I was so happy the whole time. It was Deckard Shaw from
the
the other movie who kills Juan and
What's the actor's name?
Jason Statham.
Yeah, Jason Statham was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to work together with him, which is so great.
It's like a buddy cop thing. You know?
Yeah, and it looks like Rock's gonna be a big part of this one, which is
Yeah.
awesome because he was in like 2 scenes of 7.
Yeah, no, he looks like he's gonna be like the main,
Yeah,
the front runner because
which is sick because Paul Walker's gone and Dom is a bad guy for
so
some
he's
reason.
gonna have to be the
He's
lead
gonna have to be like the leader
because the rest of them are like
they're all the side.
because they got the tech guy, the comic relief, the girl character,
the girl character,
the other girl character.
the other girl
Is
one.
she back? The other girl.
I think she's back. It looked like she was in one. I think I saw her in one of the shots.
Gal Gadot dies.
Yeah, Gal Gadot
By
died.
jumping onto a track.
No,
She
jumps off a thing to shoot a guy
and misses.
Does she miss? I thought she hit.
No, I'm pretty sure she misses.
I'm pretty sure she hits and then dies. And then she lands on the runway.
Yeah.
Plane.
Traveling at like a good speed.
Yeah. So she's dead.
She's dead.
And then Han's like, I gotta go to Tokyo so I can get killed by Jason Statham.
That's what we planned, right?
We planned it from the beginning.
We wanted to go to Tokyo, so I'm gonna do that thing.
Yeah.
Just thought
But like that's such a cool retcon that they did there, where like Tokyo Drift is the 3rd one and has nothing to do with the other movies except that Dom shows up at the end.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but actually, Jason Statham killed Han the whole time, and it like actually still works with the series, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because that means that one is the like 6th movie, and then 7 takes place after it. It's the only one that takes place after it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's kind of it's a fun like it's
a
fun.
cool idea though.
It's a cool idea, and I like that the series.
I didn't see him at all in the trailer, but he's cast in the next one though.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope he joins their team. I hope he's not just in like one.
I want to become part of the family. Like, because he was a cool character.
Join the family.
Hey,
do you want to see his black side?
Oh, that guy. No, I don't care. Just show him. He's fine. I like that guy because he's got his cool. I slip in and out of a southern accent.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel's son.
I'm like a streeter. I'm like a weirder,
streetier,
whiter urbaner,
Paul
Walker.
yeah. And there can be a part where it's like, oh no, that guy.
Punker, that's what the word.
Like you could have a part where they're like driving cars or they're chasing a guy, and they can't get the like tight curves or whatever. And then he's like, "Yo, I'm a
Oh yeah,
I'm a drift racer.
I'm a
got this
Tokyo
shit.
drifter. So
I'm a drift racer. I drifted down a mountain last year. Like I got this shit. That's everyone somehow watched on their cell phones instantaneously.
Oh,
Happening,
yeah.
even though we had no camera set up.
I thought the people on the cell phones were recording.
No, they're like watching.
Oh, okay.
Who's dumb? I didn't make any sense. That's the part that must suck about like, watching like I don't know like a race like that, or it's just the two cars go by and it's like okay, that's it. Because
All right.
you're watching.
Well, that guy
you set up.
was in the lead when he passed me. But
Yeah, you
like,
set
who
up your
knows what
spotter in and
happened
then they pass.
after?
Because like
After
a
that
marathon,
2 seconds,
like a
I saw
marathon
them.
would be cool, except like when like let's say you're like a midsection of the marathon, right? You
Yeah.
stand around, you wait for like an hour, and then
Yeah.
some people show up, and then
Well,
they would all
you know-
pass within like I don't know maybe the same like hour or so.
Right. No one really watches a marathon.
No, but they always have people like lined up like on the sides and stuff.
Not always. A lot of the time, it's just
usually
like
just the ending, right? What do
usually
the
it's
people at
the
the end do?
ending.
They just sit there
They
for
just
three
like high vibe
for like
and-
4 no,
and
but they
then-
sit there like 4 hours ahead
Yeah.
of time. Like
They just
waiting.
like smoke up, play checkers. You know.
Yeah. They're like, oh look, there's the front runner.
Yeah. But like, I mean, they have people along like the sides that are like handing out water bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, there's that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But mostly like nothing happens.
Yeah.
With
I'm
that.
just gonna sit and just wait. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rogue One was pretty good.
Yeah, I like the part where they said the title of the movie in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it too because it was. In the trailer, I didn't see the trailer, but I heard that line, and because I would always close my
It's like,
eyes.
what's the mission? It's like it's
It's
Rogue.
Rogue One,
One.
and then someone goes like, "Good name" or something. Like it felt like a dumb. It felt like a dumb moment.
But it was a really funny.
It was funny in the movie because it's like, "What's your security name?" And he's like, Rogue One, I guess.
Yeah, it's like
they're
Rogue.
That's not a thing. It was like,
One.
see ya.
Rogue One. It's not real. Okay, bye.
Oh, also, okay, you know when the rebels show up and it's like gold leader checking in, red leader checking in.
They did it. They just did it a little slower.
Yeah.
That kind of bothered me.
No, it looked like one of those guys was like from the original trilogy and they like used old footage.
Oh really?
I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah.
But I want to look that up because
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm sure there's lots of
I'm
Easter
like-
eggs. You
I
stay
was-
away from
'cause
Mr.
there was-
Sunday movies.
Yeah,
Ever
for
Easter
his
egg
Easter
and-
eggs and
Yeah, I know because he's got
10 things you missed. And
Yeah.
whatever. Because he covers all that shit. But like, I'm not sure if that's true or not. But it looked like it might have been old footage.
I love 10 things. I love how his 6 things you missed turned into 10 things you missed.
Yeah.
It's not even either of those numbers. It's usually just random.
No, it's
He
just
talks about it.
he just talks about. Yeah, this could be this, or maybe not. Who knows?
I don't actually know.
I don't actually know. I'm just guessing here. So I could be wrong, but
I
whatever.
could be completely wrong. don't take my word as anything. Did you see his best and worst review of Rogue One? I didn't
No,
see it.
not yet. Because I don't watch it.
You probably give it best movie.
If a movie, yeah. Well, that's one of 2 ratings, so yes.
Best movie ever, worst movie ever. He was rating everything worst movie ever.
Yeah, for a while.
Which is like he's like the difference between the two is it's worth a watch. And it's not worth a watch.
It's worth watching or something.
Like Transformers, and it's always really like arbitrary.
Yeah.
It's like Transformers: Age of Extinction gets a worst movie ever because this guy has a gun for a face, and his name isn't Gunface.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid. Yeah. Oh, I think Rogue One was pretty solid actually. I feel like, and I know I'm not saying that just from like a Star Wars beer goggles. I just watched Star Wars and I'm freaking out, right?
For what? Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One. Like,
Yeah.
Just like because that definitely happened with The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And now that a year has gone by and the dust has settled, I definitely want to revisit The Force Awakens.
But do you think any of The Force Awakens fatigue is because a month after the movie came out, the internet decided that instead of it being the greatest Star Wars movie ever, it was suddenly the worst Star Wars movie ever? Like, you remember that happened?
I don't know. Yeah, I remember that happened really quickly.
Where it was like
And
suddenly
there are
everyone was like,
it's
"Oh no, that movie's terrible because it's just A New Hope," and
It's
like
just A
that,
New Hope
like
and
that
stuff
just
like
happened.
that.
Like slowly
That
the
happened real
internet
quickly,
just
and I have
shifted.
people telling me that not because it was an opinion they formed themselves,
Yeah, it was
because it was
because they
something they
saw
read
it.
on the internet. They're like, Oh, I guess that's right.
Oh, Ray's
because I don't know how to make my own opinion.
The whole Ray's
so.
just a very Sue thing. And
Yeah.
that went way out of that went way out of control.
No, there's a lot of that. Yeah. No, so a lot of it. So that was the thing, is that there's a lot of people saying it was bad. So I spent a lot of time arguing that it was a really good movie.
That it was good.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, it's
fine. No, yeah. So like that's the thing, is that like, was it like really like did I just will it to be better in my head than it was? Because like, let's be real, it's actually it's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's still really good.
It's still a really good movie, but like in like the way when people say something is terrible and something is actually good, you argue that you want to convince them that it's good, so you say things that,
right.
You know,
yeah,
as you're saying,
you say things to support.
You know what's really weird about this? So in my peripheral vision, I can see my hand, but I can only see my thumb and my pointer finger. So it looks like I'm missing fingers right now.
Oh, okay.
It's like a blind spot thing. It's super weird. But anyways,
that's
completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. But anyways, yeah, like I don't know. I'm gonna have to see Force Awakens again.
Yeah, I definitely have to see this one in Force Awakens again to form like a better opinion. But I think it's also a little bit got to do with the fact that like Force Awakens, the stakes are so much higher for if it's good or not. Like it matters so much more.
I think he did a really good job.
And I think that he did probably the best he could have.
Yeah.
Where like Rogue One, if this movie sucked, it'd just be like, oh well, we'll just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist for the rest of our lives. You don't have to worry about it.
But it didn't suck. It was good.
Yeah, it was great.
It was like,
so that's what makes it like even more of like why we think it's good, is because it's like an inconsequential thing and they did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where like
it could have been nothing. Like, it didn't have to happen, but they just made Star Wars canon better than it was.
Yeah, they just like
they literally.
That's such a good, like, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
That this movie needed to do.
Yeah.
And
like did it so well.
Like
I said to you,
does this movie
I said to you like
exist?
right after the movie, I'm like, it took them 39 years.
Yeah.
But Star Wars is now a perfect movie.
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with there is
hole.
literally nothing wrong with Star Wars now.
Yeah, the one plot
hole in the movie that everyone's been making fun of for the past 39 years was put there on purpose.
It's so good because it
makes
like,
sense.
Does this movie need to happen? No. But kind of, because it explains this one thing that everyone complains about.
And that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah. And also, like, it's really good.
So. Yeah, and it fits really well with the canon.
And yeah, they did a great job fitting it in.
Yeah.
But like, like it's not as big of a deal about this movie because like Mark Hamill's not in and Harrison Ford's not in and stuff like that. Where like if those, because like if those things go wrong in Force Awakens, like then it's like I'm out, right?
Yeah.
Like if Harrison Ford showed up and
what's the next one called? It's like it's got a Force in its title. I know that much.
8? They haven't titled it yet.
I thought they had like a
no. There's just been leaked in quotation marks title of what the Force Awakens. And it's just like random.
The Force continues.
Nothing. There's
the
Force goes back to sleep.
Trick 2. The Donkey's Revenge.
No. Star Wars 7.
Trick 2, Day of the Donkey.
I got it.
2 Donkey, 2 Furious.
Star Wars 7. The Force Awakens. Star Wars 8. The Force hits snooze. Star Wars 9. Force is late for work.
Just pick that up now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
That's confirmed.
That's confirmed.
Confirmed. You hear it here first.
I definitely want to get good with Flash so I can like animate portions of our podcast. That's the thing. Yeah. I'm just obsessed with animated podcasts and just listening to conversations.
You get on that animation skills.
Yeah, I will.
I one thing I'm thinking of doing, because sometimes every now and then I'll like edit the podcast, like the video part, to include some kind of visual.
You cut out Nathan blah blah blah's last name, right?
Yeah, and
did we say his last name?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but if you're friends with us and you're friends with all those peeps like Katie and stuff, you would know who that is. And I could probably guess. Yeah, you could probably guess who that is. And I think that's okay. I think we handled the situation really well.
Yeah, but like there'll be parts where I try to like include I'll try to do something with the visuals, but like that makes the whole thing harder to do. So I'm thinking of like releasing the podcast and then doing like a short, like taking a short clip from it and then like animating it. It's not really animating, but like showing like clips of what we're talking about, like while we're talking about it, just like just as like a as like a snippet of here's what the podcast is like. Click here to watch the whole thing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do that or not. We'll see. Depends on how busy I am. That's the main factor for that kind of stuff. I also gotta figure out if there's a way to keep releasing the podcast while I'm not in school because I don't have as much software, which is good. So that's the main thing. But I'll work on that.
What? Well, you're in the 3-year program, right?
Yeah.
Got 2 more years to figure this shit out.
That's true.
2.5 years to figure out.
Yeah.
How am I going to get an editing software in 2.5 years?
I used to be in the times of the year that I'm not in school.
Yeah.
Because in those times, like, podcast just doesn't come out.
Yeah. Why not? We'll have to. Well, we still better get together and do podcasts.
Oh yeah, we'll still record them and stuff. They don't get released as often when I'm not in school, which doesn't make any sense.
Why wouldn't you be in school? Isn't just life just being in school? Isn't that what it is? It's what it's been for like ever.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to not go to school.
What is life like outside of school?
What's life like outside of school?
Life begins once you're outside of school. Once you're done high school, that's when life starts.
That's when life starts. Okay.
You haven't even begun to experience life.
Yeah. I know. So I started to realize that like, because you know when you're like a kid or you have this idea of like egocentrism, whatever.
Sort of.
You know how that works, right? Where you just assume that everyone's like you.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Everyone's household is like yours.
That's true. I definitely have that a lot.
Yeah, and then everyone grew up watching Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Everyone's parents love them. You know. Those are all things. These are all just.
These are all things that we grew up.
Those are things you assume about other people because they were true about you.
That's true.
And that idea, when you get older, you start to realize that that's totally not true.
Yeah.
But the idea it expands to a community though, where it's like you're like, oh, I guess all communities are like this.
Or all communities are similar to this one thing. No,
yeah.
People on the other side of the world that don't even fucking have schools.
Yeah.
So like,
then your brain gets a little bit better than that, and I think it's like I'm still in that state though where because you just don't know. You just don't know.
It is. It's so weird. It's so dumb. High school is so dumb. And
actually, like I think it's okay, but like
it's like when you're there, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the world when you're there, and then once you're out, you're like, oh, there's more. There's more to life.
No, but I'm starting to realize that a lot of it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get my grades up good so I can get into the college stuff. And other than that, I don't actually have to care about anything.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
and
if I have a solid average, that's fine. But like, you know, extracurriculars, what's that? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't actually have to. You know, the world doesn't end if I'm not good at band. Like, oh no, I forgot to mezzoforte. Who cares? Like, whatever. It doesn't actually matter. Like, I think I'm in bands because I like playing music.
Well, there you go.
And like, you know,
I was always in band because I joined the arts program and you're supposed to be in an arts curricular.
I know. I'm in a strings group and I don't even play like I play a non-bowed string instrument. Like I'm not even in the strings program. I'm in the strings group. Like,
the arts program was a weird thing for me because
you didn't have to be in it.
No, the first because when I first entered high school, I thought I really wanted to do visual art and music.
Yeah.
And then I just like didn't really enjoy it, but I stayed in the program despite me like not really being connected to any of the other people in it and like not really like hanging out.
You like the production type stuff though, right?
Yeah, but like that stuff didn't really start until
like grade 11.
Like grade 11 for me.
Yeah.
And like that's when they're like, okay, now we're kind of doing production.
Yeah, because you had a lot of fun in your film course.
Yeah, my one film course in grade 12 was like my favorite class.
Yeah,
and I didn't even do that.
And you basically
but like it was
you
so
do
good.
that. You do that like every day now.
Yeah, now it's like that, but like every day, but I'm learning way more.
That's really cool.
And it's pretty
so
awesome.
you suggest film and television?
I
To
suggest
all our viewers at home.
I suggest film and television production program at Humber College. If
North Campus.
North Campus,
Yeah.
if you are interested in film.
Yeah,
I recommend that.
okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I mean, like, they get, like, lots of applicants, and they don't accept anyone. So,
Well, it took you like a year to get in.
It took me 2 tries to get in. So, but I still recommend it.
Okay.
I just mean, like, everyone should take the program. It's like everyone's already trying to take the program.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Life is a thing.
Yeah, life is a thing.
Rogue One is a cool movie.
Yeah, Star Wars. We'll have to figure out how that transitions into that.
Oh, I had one more point that I wanted to make.
Yeah.
Gareth Edwards, he did Godzilla, and that movie is almost good.
Yeah.
And the reason that movie is not good is because you don't care about any of the characters, and they don't have any motivations, and they don't go through any arcs at all.
Yeah.
And this movie, all the characters go through arcs, and all of them have like strong motivations, and you like all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, good job, Gareth. You
made
a great movie.
It's kind of like the.
I don't know why
the
Godzilla wasn't that good, but this one was fucking great. So.
No, it's almost like the 2012 thing where it's just like, or like the Contagion or World War Z thing where it's like you don't care about any of them, you just kind of watch people be affected by something.
Yeah, but like
we have to evacuate here now.
Yeah,
I have to do my job as a military.
Then
I'm gonna sit on a train with a kid whose parents got on too late.
Yeah, but then it shouldn't. Exactly. Then it shouldn't focus on like that kind of stuff.
That's dumb.
Where it's like, oh, let's see Aaron Taylor Johnson go see his father Bryan Cranston.
You're gonna get to see Aaron Taylor.
It's about nothing, that movie.
Aaron Taylor Johnson sitting on a train for like 20 minutes. That's
like
a 20-minute part of the movie.
Because you think like,
and then it's cool because some monsters fight each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's
the only part that's cool.
You don't get to see them fight each other when they're in that scene. You don't get to see it. You don't get to see it until the very end.
But like they don't even give him like a basic arc or anything.
No, he doesn't.
It's not even like
he doesn't say after at the end of the movie, I should quit the military because I didn't get to be with my family the whole movie.
Yeah, they didn't like fucking do anything with it. And
I want to be a scientist like my father.
At no point does he be like. Does he attempt to get home to his family and stop helping the military? He's like, oh, I can help you guys fight Godzilla. I know the thing about the thing. Oh, don't worry, guys. I'll be there when you fight Godzilla. And, like, he keeps helping them out. He's at no point is he like, fuck that. I just want to go see my family. Like there's none of that. Like it's just a nothing movie, and that's why. Although like the parts where Godzilla actually does stuff are cool.
Yeah.
But like it takes so long to get there. Yeah. And you don't care about the characters you're following. So
so he handled the AT-ATs really well because.
Oh yeah, so like shots like that with the AT-ATs and stuff like that are beautiful. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Godzilla has like great cinematography and like the depth of shots and like some of the visual stuff is great, but like the actual characters were like playing.
Yeah, so this movie did all the stuff that Godzilla did well,
stuff, and then
it did the things it didn't do well. It did that well also. So I don't know, it's a pretty solid movie all around, I'd say, but I definitely want to see it again.
I give it 1 rogue out of 1.
1 rogue out of 1. I'm going to give it a donut with sprinkles.